Good to see you. I'm right here.
We're ready to begin with Colorado State. We have student athletes Madeline Bragg, Alexis Bargesser, Coach Ryan Williams. Coach, we can start with you. Get some thoughts on tonight's game.
Really good basketball game. Tip my cap to Grand Canyon. I thought they were exceptional tonight. I mean, they had us sped up a lot of the evening and were quite disruptive. But really proud of our basketball team for having the competitive character to find a way to win that sucker, because it didn't look good for a lot of the night. And enough winning plays, especially by these two. This has been a tough group all year. You know, they've been in every single game all year long, and I'm happy they found a way to win it. And you knew it was going to happen at some time. They really kept believing, but hats off to Grand Canyon for how they played today.
Thank you, Coach. We'll take questions for the student athletes first, and then we'll come back to Coach.
Madeline, Mike Brohard from CSU Rams. Madeline, when's the last time you hit a game winner?
Last November at my old school was the last time, so it's been a while.
Right.
I think.
Ryan, I'm just kind of curious, watching you through three quarters, did you feel a sense of deja vu from last year?
Totally. Totally. I mean, yeah, same flipping bench. I mean, everything. It seemed like that way. And it just, our kids were pressing. They just needed to find a breath. And they did that in that fourth quarter. You know, the grit kind of combined with just settling the game down in their minds was critical. But, yeah, to answer your question, yes.
And then, Lexus, when you're inbounding the ball, was that exactly the way the play was discussed in the huddle?
Yeah, and I think that's the first time all year that we ran it right out of the huddle. And, I mean, what better time to do it, so.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. We might be undefeated if they'd run some of that stuff right.
What was the feeling like, though, going into the fourth quarter based off the way that you played the first three?
Yeah, I mean, we knew that it was going to take a moment to, you know, really get locked in on the game and get our feels out of the way. It took a little longer than we expected, but going into the fourth quarter, like, the message was, you know, we have nothing to lose. We're playing, like, scared, like we have something. No, we just needed to go out and be ourselves and toughen up and go win the game.
Maddie, how big of a spark was it, though, when Chloe comes out and hits that early three, and she had a really big fourth quarter?
Yeah, I mean, it's huge. That's what Chloe does, though. I mean, she's a scrapper. We've seen it all year. She does the right thing when it's needed. I'm really proud of her. I'm really proud of all of our guards, honestly, because I don't get in the position to make that shot if our guards don't go on that run down the stretch when it really mattered.
Just complete calm, though? Or were you kind of happy the way the play was called?
Yeah, I was really excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it a matchup that you felt that you had the advantage in?
Yeah, I mean, she's a good player for a freshman, but, I mean, I just have so much experience over her, and I don't really get super nervous. I was a little more nervous than usual this time just because of the way that I performed up until that point. But I knew that my coaches were trusting me, and I knew that they drew that play up for a reason, so just go out and execute.
It was interesting because while the review was taking place, the spotlight was on you. You were on the Jumbotron doing a little jig. Did you know that it was good? You had no question that you got it off. Oh, yeah, she was.
I would never do that. That wasn't me. Yeah, I hoped it was good. I just was really excited. I don't know. I thought it was.
Over here. You can start, Michael.
Hi, Michael Hovey, Rocky Mountain Collegiate. We kind of talked about Chloe, but also, you know, Brooke coming out of the half, kind of just having that spark. What can you say about her in just her second year?
I mean, I don't know Brooke last year, but she's killing it this year. Like, our team doesn't run without Brooke on the floor. The way that she just brings energy on both ends of the floor, and she's always, like, bringing our moods up throughout the entire game. Like, she's huge. She's been huge for us this whole year. And, yeah, like I said, we need her on the floor, and she executed so well tonight.
And I know Coach, like coming into this game, was talking about just everyone's familiar with each other in this conference. You kind of knew what you were what to expect, but just making basketball plays in the moment. I mean, kind of how did that kind of just come about?
Yeah, I mean, they came out way more aggressive than I think we were expecting. The ball pressure early on was a little jarring, but I mean, we have 6 seniors on our team. We know how to perform, and after the third quarter, really, we adjusted. Our talk at halftime was we need to screen for each other. We need to help each other out. I feel like we improved in the second half, and then really in the fourth quarter, we got it going. We went small, spaced it out, and our guards performed the way that they needed to.
Like you said, in that second half, that defensive adjustment, had a really clean fourth quarter. What kind of was the message there?
Stop fouling. That's really it.
Yeah.
Box out.
What was the change? Because I know it seemed like you guys got flustered a little bit in the first half. They switched from man to zone. It seemed like it caught you a little bit off guard. What were you most focused on in the second half as an offense to get going?
Yeah. I mean, part of our message at halftime was being focused in on what we needed to do. We weren't executing the way that we had been all season and that we should have been from the start of that game. So coming out the second half, locked in on what Coach was expecting of us was huge for us.
Any other questions for the student athletes back there? Here, let's give it to her.
Paul Coro, GCLopes.com. Coach, just what did you think the differences were in the way the Lopes played from the first 2 times you saw them, and how much did the personnel changes in their rotation make them look different?
Yeah, totally. I mean, Four's a different. She's a good athlete, and she drives the ball really well. We didn't really see a lot of her the first 2 games. Them going small a fair amount with Lemondola at the 5 is we just saw it more tonight. But I just thought the way they competed tonight, and they really pressured the ball, right? They kind of got after the ball, they sped our guards up, especially early in that game, and we just couldn't get into what we needed to get into, and I credit their disruptiveness. That was the main difference. But give them a lot of credit. It's hard to beat a team 3 times in a row, especially a good team. Like, don't look at their record. That's what I tell our fans. Don't look at Grand Canyon's record. They have talented players. They're very, very good, and they're well coached. So we're not apologizing for this. This was a good win because Grand Canyon's a really good basketball team.
Back here.
Lexus Gideon Egner from CTV 11. Now looking at it, you had 36 minutes played tonight, 0 turnovers. How would you describe that pressure?
Misprint.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I had a few.
But still, that last pass in those last few seconds, we all know just how that kind of situation can go. We've all been on both sides of that. How would you describe that pressure and your elation when it went in?
I want to be the one making that pass at the end of the game. I feel like mine and Maddie's connectedness throughout the season has gotten so good and so much better throughout the season. And I know that wherever I throw it, Maddie's pretty much going to grab the ball. So I threw it, closed my eyes maybe, and hoped it got there, and she got it. So, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to dismiss the student athletes at this time. Thank you, ladies.
Good job, ladies.
Thank you.
We'll keep Coach for a few more minutes.
Yeah, take a deep breath, you guys.
Go ahead.
Ryan, how nice was it for you to really be able to get contributions from multiple sources? Nobody really had to be the hero in the fourth quarter. You kind of did it as a team.
Yeah, and we did it as a team on both ends of the floor. It's really nice to get the contribution offensively, the balance that we got tonight. And they were all opportunistic at the right time. When we needed something, it was a different kid, it seemed like, every single time. But they got pretty connected defensively, too. We needed stops in order to get out and run. I thought that was a key, especially in that fourth quarter. We strung some stops together, and we got out in the push. And it got us playing downhill. It got us playing aggressive. It got us playing on the attack. And it took us a while to get there, but again, a lot of contributions.
You have multiple options when you've got the ball on an inbound play with 2.2 seconds left. Why was it Maddie? Why was it that matchup for you?
Well, time was one thing, right? There was 3 or 2 point something, 2.2 I think it was. So it was basically going to be a catch and shoot, maybe a one dribble. But we just wanted to catch as close as we could to the basket. We told Maddie, don't take a dribble. But we just spaced it out. We ran shooters to space it. And Maddie's, she really can bury some people. And she got to that left shoulder, which she's pretty good at. And that's a good moment for Maddie. Just for the young lady. It's really neat to see her smile. It's really neat to see her teammates celebrate her. I mean, that kid's had a lot going on that a lot of people don't really understand. So I'm really, really proud of her.
What was that wave of emotions like for you, though, on those final 2 possessions? I mean, there was a beautiful lob that GCU hit to tie that game. Then you have to kind of answer. How do you, as a coach, how did you feel like your team rode that wave?
Yeah, and that I like how they reset, and that's a word that we use, and our kids have been working on that, believe it or not. And so they made a basket to tie it. You've got to reset, right? I'm kicking myself for not having Kramer on the ball, to be honest with you. I mean, they shouldn't have made that easy a pass. So that's what I was thinking before we drew up that play. But I really liked how our kids never panicked the whole game. I mean, it just, I don't know, it was kind of climbing that mountain made of sand all night long. We just couldn't get a lot of traction going until that fourth, and it's easy to kind of just give up and slide down. But we kept finding a way and got some footing, and a lot of winning plays, not just offensively, but defensively. Marty's stop was crucial. They went ISO with 4 with Wright, and Marty did a great job keeping her cushion. She stayed down, kept her feet moving. She didn't go for the counter, and that's what an experienced senior should do.
You got a question? We're here. A couple more questions.
So you kind of mentioned, Marty just performing down the stretch defensively. Her and Maddie just seemed to kind of came together and I don't know, kind of provided that extra buffer. How did that kind of change the game?
Well, Maddie's size was, she's a strong young lady. We needed that physical presence, and so, when we called on that late in the fourth, she really delivered. And then Marty just, that's her strength. Marty's a very smart basketball player, and she's been with us for 4 years. She understands what has to be done in those types of moments. There needs to be communication. There needs to be chemistry. And I thought we switched quite well late, and Marty was a big part of that.
And in a game where I think both teams combined for 46, trips to the free throw line, the deep shots weren't really falling for their team. How did that kind of just change your game plan?
Well, when we played them in Fort Collins, we sent them to the line. I think it was 22 or 23 times maybe, and that was a big part of our plan, was just keep them off the line. And the way they started that third quarter, I think, they got an offensive putback, and then they went to the foul line 8 times there in that third. And it was just, we had to quit creating offense for them. And I thought as the second half kind of developed, we did a better job of that. But, both teams are aggressive, right? Both teams have kids that can get their chin to the rim, and they want to do that. So it's hard to keep that ball in front of you sometimes. But they were aggressive, we were aggressive, and just happened to make one more play than them tonight.
Okay, that's all the time we have. Thanks for your time,
everybody.
Coach.